In this video, we're going to look at the different tools and abilities that we can give our AI agents access to. And this essentially gives us unlimited capabilities. There are some pre-built tools already within the system, and there's one that you can install yourself. For now, we're going to look at the ones that are pre-built, how to use them, how to make sure that you include them in your prompt to make sure your agent has access to them. But on the right-hand side, when you come to tools and abilities, you can see there is a section that allows your AI model to do things such as book appointments, get data from somewhere, update contact information, and a lot more. So when you click Manage Tools, you're going to see a whole new tab open up. You have Platform. These are the pre-built ones that we're going to look at now. There's also Extraction. These are the post-call extraction tools that you can use. We have Transfer Call as well. If within your agent, there's a part of your prompt where, for example, you apply a different tag and you want to forward the conversation to a human or transfer call as it's happening, you can do that through here. You can add different tags during the call as well, remove tags if you need, and you have access to also set up custom tools and essentially access the internet and through the APIs of different providers such as Zapier, Make.com, and A10, essentially build any sort of tool and automation that you would want it. So when we come to platform, the first two are within the information collection, and the first one is update details. What it does is that it extracts the user's information to remember for later, and we use this tool to store the user's first name, last name, email address, and phone number. And you're required to call this tool every time the user gives us the contact information, so we simply collect it within our CRM. This is very useful if you're collecting leads from social media, especially Instagram, Facebook, or channels where people are not already within your CRM. And this is how you would ideally want to get new leads, especially if you're doing content and if you run some sort of promotion where people would have to DM you and they engage with our AI agents. Or if they're calling in inbound to your business and you don't have any details about them, before booking an appointment or scheduling any forward actions, you would ideally want to collect their name, email, phone number, and add them to your system so you can follow up at a later stage. Update address. This is, for example, for a tool function, whether you need that information to determine whether you could service that area, if you're a business that works within a mile radius, or you simply need to collect that information to be able to quote them later or send a team member there. It's pretty self-explanatory. Once you receive that information from either the chat or the voice agent, you would fill out the information within your CRM and the contact details. The calendar management, we have 5 different tools here. We have check availability to ensure that whenever the agent offers a time for an appointment, it's available within our calendar, and it also matches it to the availability of the users that are involved within your calendar. So if you have multiple agents that are handling different calls and they have different availability, the agent would have access to all of that. You can book an appointment directly through the conversational AI, both through voice and chat. You can reschedule appointment, you can cancel appointment, and you can check appointments if the user simply asks. And that is verified with their contact ID. So once they enter the system and they book an appointment, they're going to be assigned a contact ID within the Wellgrow platform. So you're going to be able to see what are their appointments. They can cancel, reschedule. Again, I ideally want to add all of these within my agent. Maybe I don't need the update address one, but you might. So this is something that we have in here. Then we have the interaction creation. So we have the create a task, and we use this tool to create a task that requires human intervention or future required action from actionable requests or information in your conversation with the user. So for example, we're talking to a prospect and they say, hey, I'd love to talk to a diabetes expert on your team. So we can mark that, create a task within our CRM, and notify the team members so somebody can reach out to that prospect and connect them with a member from our team. Within the notes section, we use this tool to create notes from information in the conversation with the user. And this could be actionable, important information, or just a summary from our conversation. So whenever you receive a new lead, you're going to be able to take a look at the note and the conversation from the agent and be able to see what would be an appropriate next step. So again, we want to add that to our assistant. Then we have self-schedule, and we use this tool to schedule the agent to be able to reply back to our contacts in the future. So essentially, if somebody says, can you reach out to me in 2 weeks? The agent would be able to understand what is the time now and what is the time 2 weeks from now. It will have access to the contact ID of the person. So the agent would be able to follow up automatically based on that tool. So we want to make sure that we add that in here. And then we have the channel switching, which is a very powerful function. This is how we essentially get a super smart agent that's able to conversationally send information, update information. So the first function here is send email. So for example, we're texting with a user and they said, can you send me more information via email? The agent is autonomously authorized based on having their email within the system to send them that information, and it would autonomously do it, so you don't have to do anything else on your side besides add that tool function and specify it within your prompt. And I'm going to show you how to do that within the settings in just a minute. And then the call user function is, for example, if you're talking to a prospect via chat or Instagram DM and you already have their phone number, they say, hey, can you give me a call? I have a couple of questions. Now the agent is able on your behalf to do an outbound call and call that user, following up on the conversation they just had within text, whether it's going to be Facebook, Instagram, SMS, doesn't really matter the channel. But now the agents are able to autonomously switch between channels and call users on our behalf. So once we add the last assistant to our tool and we close off all of them, we make sure that every time we do some updates to our agent that we save our changes. But when we come to tools and abilities, we can see that now we have update details, check availability, book appointment, reschedule appointment. Essentially, we have all the tools that we want. And the way we would call them within our prompt is if a user wants to book an appointment, use the check availability tool function and give them 2 options, one for today and one for tomorrow. Okay. Once they confirm a time, run the book appointment tool function to lock in their appointment in the calendar. And as you can see, I'm using the tool functions as a JSON format. So it's always check underscore availability. So for example, for update details, it would be update underscore details. And again, an easy way to format and organize this is copy the entire prompt, send it over to ChatGPT, explain what are the tools that you have access to and what's their purpose, and modify the prompt. And you can copy and paste it back here accordingly to match the new tools you're using that give you access to capabilities that are super useful, especially when it comes to nurturing leads and booking appointments.